Welcome to Movie Life Crisis. Join us as we watch the best movies from 30 years ago.
Always takes a guy on the scene in a second.
Universal Pictures invites you to a world like none you've ever seen before. Kevin Costner, Waterworld.
Okay, now I'm further away than I was when I first thought about it.
I was bitching about our podcast host not being able to do video trailers. The tech has stopped working, and I email them, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not sure about that. We're going on break." But I'm actually glad that one was audio only because I think it served as a metaphor for the film. Just like you're listening, you're going, "What?" And what?
Yeah.
That didn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
We're here doing Waterworld, Movie Life Crisis, Season 5, Episode 8.
Oh, we're doing Waterworld.
I'm excited, man. I've been saying, I own this movie on DVD. I've been telling people for years. I haven't said, like, dude, it's awesome, you're missing out. But I have said, like, It's not as bad as you have heard. Trust me.
Right. It definitely wasn't as bad as I had heard.
So that's what I was going to say. For this rewatch, the only bar I needed it to hit was not as bad as you have heard. And I think we're there. Yeah. I think I'm there. I'm okay.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad as I thought. But I could also see why people are upset.
Oh, dude, I absolutely could see. This one's really frustrating for me because I was on my couch going like, dude, I think I could have fixed this.
Yeah.
I think if I had been Kevin Costner and back in the day, I could have maybe fixed this.
I think Kevin Costner was actually the issue.
Yes, agreed.
He ended up editing it, and apparently there's an edit that the other Kevin did. Who's the director? Reynolds.
Kevin Reynolds.
Kevin Reynolds edited it.
Same from Robin Hood Men in Tights. No, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Prince of Thieves. And he said, like, everybody's like, yeah, the three people that saw this one said it was a straight action flick, and it was awesome. It was tight, it was fast, it was awesome. And I was like, okay, cool. None of those words apply to the version I saw. So,
well, the weird thing is the director's cut that's released is called the Ulysses edition. It's 35 minutes longer, so it's definitely not tight. It's 3 hours. And the action was the part of this that I didn't like, so I don't think adding 35 minutes more of it would have made me happier. I think there was more like character development.
I think so, and we'll talk about it when we get in there, but I saw an interview with Joss Whedon, and because they brought him in as an uncredited script puncher-upper.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, this guy's got gills. This is going to be awesome. Let's do some cool stuff with the gills. And then at the end, he was just running on a boat and then flying through the air and then running on land. And he was like, we didn't do anything with the gills? We had such a good idea, and we didn't do anything with the idea that we had. What's the deal?
I know.
And I think he's right. That part of the action would have been awesome.
Well, I got some thoughts about it. But before we get in too far into it, I want to say that Spaceballs is out on Patreon. It's not out as we record, but it will be out by the time you hear this episode.
Yeah.
If you're listening to episodes on the main feed, you're going like, man, what I need in my life is more of these two idiots talking about movies. You can go over to Patreon and hear us talking about more movies. We're going backwards there. We're on 1987 on Patreon.
Yeah.
$5 a month gets you all the bonus content. You can support the arts. You can help Jeff and I continue to do this.
Support the arts. Tell your friends.
If you feel like you have all of this podcast that you need, I completely understand, and don't even bother going to Patreon because it's just more stuff. It's just more of us talking there.
It's more of this, yeah.
But dude, also I have not been able to get it out of my mind since we did the net. For the last movie, I really want a pizza computer.
I think you have one of those in your pocket right now, probably.
I do, but the thing is, Sandra Bullock had a second computer that, as far as we know from the movie, she only used for pizza. I want that. Right. I was thinking, like, maybe I could do like a Raspberry Pi and like do like a build that has like a little cheap like little tablet screen on it, and all it is just pizza apps, and it just sits on my desktop. And when I just push one of the apps, and then it goes like, "You want pizza? Here's pizza.
Here's pizza." I
was like, that's when I was a kid. I was like, one computer for games, one computer for pizza. That's what I need.
Yeah.
I've been walking around for 2 weeks going like, freaking pizza computer, it's genius. Why she had that shit figured out?
I have a movie computer that holds all my movies that I borrow from the internet.
Dude, everybody's got that. I want a pizza computer.
That's the only extra computer I got.
And if I know anything from the net, it's eating a half pizza every night and having a coffee cup full of M&Ms. I'll look like Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
I'd be all tan, abs and stuff.
You're pretty close already. No pizza computer for me. Let me know how that turns out. I don't need people chasing after me.
Quick synopsis. Give it to us.
In a waterlogged future, a mutant loner helps a woman and a child search for dry land while being chased by a jet ski riding pirates.
Smokers.
There was a kid that I taught that I told him we were doing Waterworld, and he's like, "Oh, that's great." I was like, "Yeah, explain it to me." So he told me, and I wrote it down. Kevin Costner drinks his own pee and fights Dennis Hopper. That's the end. That's all he said.
I mean,
he remembered that he drank his own pee.
That's
Yeah,
a pretty good. That's a pretty.
That's
good
the part
capture.
I remember.
Way
It was
to
in the
capture it.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So $175 million budget. This at the time is the most expensive movie ever made. So when you make the most expensive movie ever made, unless your name is James Cameron, people are going to be like, "This is going to be horrible."
Yeah.
And if it's James Cameron, like, it's going to be even better. I can't believe he spent $2 billion. I'm going there again.
I got to see it again.
So $175 million budget, $264 million gross, breaks even. But that's the $175 is just to shoot the movie and then deliver a cut to the theaters to distribute.
Right.
That's not the
none of
Burger
other
King
stuff.
tie-in and when they make the rides at Universal Studios and Costner's freaking hair transplants and all the other shit. Like this is
That was
none
all
of the marketing.
CGI.
Yeah, all the CGI special effects. So at the time, everyone's like, "Stupid movie! They lost all kind of money." Again, I don't care. My ticket costs the same whether they lose money or not.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's part of it. Everyone's like, "You spent so much money. This thing's supposed to be amazing, and it's just fine." So now I'm mad. Why?
Right. So I saw one instance that said domestically it only made like 88 million, and the rest of it was worldwide. So, like, a big chunk of it wasn't from here. So a lot of people were like, "Yeah, it's friggin' $175 million. I'm not going to see that." Whatever, By the way, James Cameron was the one that broke the record for the next movie he does is Titanic.
Yeah, Titanic.
And that breaks the record.
And then every time he does a movie, he breaks it again. But he keeps making so much money, no one even gives a shit. But anyway, this movie finishes in the top 10 on the year, so you would think it's actually pretty successful. But it cost so much money, and there was so much drama around it that by the time it came out, everyone was like, "Stupid movie, I hate that movie."
It's for Kevin Costner.
But yeah, top 10 on the year. Awards, it won an Academy Award, Oscar winning.
I was going to say, like, the Oscar winning for sound. Or no, was it nominated? I think it nominated, right? Wait, the only winner I had was
nominated for Academy Award for Best Sound.
Yeah,
well, it's an honor even to be nominated.
It's an honor. The only thing I had it winning, and here's my question: worst supporting actor Dennis Hopper from the Golden Raspberry Awards. Here's my question: the Raspberries we all know are for really bad movies. So if he is the worst supporting actor, is that like two negatives equal a positive, and he's like the best of those, or he really is the worst? Because he hammed it up, and I could see.
I'm going to answer your question with another question. No, it's not a double negative. No, dude, I want to talk about Dennis Hopper when we get into the characters because I couldn't decide if he was doing a bad job or if he was doing a good job at doing a bad job.
I think it's the second one because the whole time I was like, "This is amazing." Because
we just saw Dennis Miller last year in Speed. Dennis Hopper last year in Speed. We saw Dennis Miller last week on the net.
Yeah,
doing a fine job of being Dennis Miller. Dennis Hopper in Speed. And he was freaking perfect, and he was terrifying. Right. So I know that Dennis Hopper can be a scary, weird villain who's kind of crazy. I've seen him do it very recently.
Yeah. So
this time I'm like, dude, I don't know if that's like really bad direction or if he's just like, this shit's wild. I may as well be crazy too.
I'm just gonna ham it up, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Or if like he just did a shitty job. I don't know. But regardless,
he got paid.
Dude,
he got paid.
Sequels and spinoffs. I didn't know there was a novelization. I want to read the novelization of this. I'm not joking.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Let me know when you get it, though. I want to also read it at the same time so I can make fun with you. I did see that there is a TV sequel series reported in development as of 2021. So it's supposed to pick up like after the movie, decades after the movie. And the Universal Studios has a live action stunt show, which is all I could think of the whole time it was going. I was like,
Dude.
It's jet skis and explosions and people yelling weird
It's
lines.
a perfect
This is
live
just
action
like,
stunt show. It's like
Yeah.
someone wanted to take a live action stunt show and then film it
And
and stick
make
Kevin
a
Costner off to the
movie out
side. And they have not one live action stunt show. They have 4. They have one in Hollywood, one in Singapore, one in Japan, and one in Beijing.
Amazing.
So, by far the biggest, whatever.
And there's also
After Effects of this movie is the stunt shows.
Yeah, because there's also a Super NES and a Game Boy. Sega had a version, and there's a PC version.
Yeah,
All those games.
I saw a version of the Waterworld game also came out for Virtual Boy. I was like, holy shit, I forgot about Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy, nice. Yeah, so that's all the spinoffs we got.
The Waterworld paperbacks got pretty good ratings on Amazon, 4.2 stars.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if we're going to get a Kindle edition, though. I think I'm going to have to read that one old school Dead Tree style.
Ooh. What? How many pages is that? It's a 2.5
324. 324
That's not bad.
pages.
That's not bad.
That's what I'm saying. So in a book, like on screen when it's like a 13-minute action sequence, in a book that's like 2 paragraphs. It's like, yeah,
Right.
dude, jet skis were everywhere, and then pretty soon he escaped.
Yeah.
So I think I might like that.
Yeah. Let me know how it is. So where'd you first see this one?
I don't remember where I first saw it. I think I saw it when it came out, probably in VHS, because I don't think I saw this in
I
the
didn't see
theater.
this in the theater. No,
But what I mainly remember is when I was living in LA in 2007, 2008, and it was like the DVD buying era because like streaming wasn't happening and YouTube was barely a thing.
Right.
But I was like, oh, Waterworld, I remember that movie. I'm going to buy that. $5 bin. And I watched it. And then I spent like 3 years telling people, like, dude, I'm telling you, because everybody in LA, all my friends were either musicians or they were actors or writers. I was like, dude, Waterworld. And they're like, well, that movie sucks. Like, I'm telling you, it doesn't suck. It's not great, but it's fun. Like, there's things in there that you will be surprised at how good they are.
I like
so I
how
spent like a couple years in LA just telling people, like, I'm telling you, man, I'm not joking. Check out Waterworld.
Oh, man, this sounds like me talking to you about Captain Ron.
This sounds like you talking to me about Modern Family. Yeah, dude, it's really fun. It's like, all right, I don't have time.
Oh, dude, it used
We're all
to be
full
so
over here.
funny to me. Yeah. Dude, same for me. It was on Netflix. I was shocked that I could actually stream it. I thought I was going to have to find the DVD because I was pretty sure I have it on DVD. But it was on Netflix, so I was able to stream it. That's the first time I've seen it like all the way through. I've seen clips, and I've seen like memes about it and stuff like that. But I still thought this was that silly movie with John Travolta, where he has this space thing with Forrest Whitaker.
Battleship Earth.
Yeah, Battleship Earth. And then I saw the guy with the blonde hair that's like Dennis Hopper's second in command. And he's got like the squared off forehead and jaw and then the weird hair. And I was like, oh, that's probably why I got these two confused. They look exactly the same.
I kept thinking that guy was somebody else. And it kind of looked like Willem Dafoe in a wig. But it's definitely not him. But it's
no,
little...
he reminds me of somebody else. I don't know who it is either. But yeah, that was the first time I saw it all the way through, sort of.
All right, how did you rate this? 1 to 10, no 7s.
Yeah, the 7s weren't a problem in this one for me. No. All right. I wanted to like it. It's got all of the things that I like the opening sequence where they use the universal globe from that.
Yeah, dude, and then that thing, then they zoom in and to make that the ice caps melting.
Yeah, and then the guy talks about how it got to that point, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then you sent me a text message and showed me that you're freaking living in it. You got like basement water and shit like that. I was like, I want to get into this. I don't know if it was just too like somber or. Maybe I was thinking it was more action because all of the clips that I've seen were like explosions and jet skis. Again, I feel like Josh Whedon nailed it when he was like, you got a generic script with a great idea, and then you forget about the idea. The whole time I was just like, this is a mutant version of Moana at the end. He just wants to leave. And I'm like, I wanted it to be more... And it was too long for me, so I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah. 4.5 out of 10. Probably, I think you're like right on par with probably a lot of the Rotten Tomatoes stuff.
Am I?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet, but I feel like it's probably going to be in the 5s or below.
IMDb gave it a 6.3.
Yeah. I gave it a 6. Gave it a
Nice.
6.0. There's definitely, so this is maybe of all the movies we've ever done, the one that I most would like to fix, because I think the idea is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like, the production design is unbelievable.
Awesome.
The world building is great.
The
Dude, it starts... You were talking
fantastic.
about, before it started, you asked one of your students who'd seen this movie, and he just said Kevin Costner pees, and then he fights Dennis Hopper. The open is so good, dude.
Yeah.
The Universal Studios titles, CGI animates into the, like, ice caps rising, and then Kevin Costner's on his boat, which is cool as hell, and it looks like Mad Max on the open waters, which is exactly what the writer was ripping off when he wrote.
Right. Yeah.
He pees into a freaking water bottle. He dumps it into a fancy thing. It looks like he's making moonshine, and then it comes out into a cup, and he drinks it. All filtered.
Yeah. And then he spits it on top of the plant, and I was like, this is going to be good. I like this. They thought of a lot of... Okay, what is this? Why is he doing that?
Dude, I wrote it down. I mean, the first 18 minutes I wrote down because I was like, this thing... All right, so Universal, ice caps rising. He pees. He filters it. He drinks it. He spits it into his limes. He goes down and comes up with some ski boots and a lighter. Someone steals his limes. Then he has to run from the smokers. And then he goes to an atoll where he buys his way in with a dirt. Just put an F on there. It's just a cup of dirt. He meets Jeanine Tripplehorn.
And he can't walk in the boots either. I'm like, something wrong with these boots.
Something wrong. Can't straighten up. He meets Jeanine Tripplehorn. He buys all the water and all the tomato plants. They go like, do you want to impregnate one of these local girls? He's like, nah, I think I'm good. And they're like, you're definitely something wrong with you. Let's put you in a cage. And he's got gills.
Behind his ears, yeah.
The only name we ever hear for him, he gets assigned at the atoll. They call him the Mariner. I'm like, cool, this guy's from Seattle originally.
Yeah.
This is the first 18 minutes.
Chicken.
I'm on my couch going like, dude, this is going to be badass. This might be a 9.
Yeah.
And then shit went all sideways, and I was like, all right, man, this is dumb. I don't know why they messed. That was such a solid open. I was so in. I freaking loved it.
Dude, I was exactly the same way. I got to the point so much that I'm watching them walk around the atoll, and I was like, OSHA would have a field day. There's no handrails on any of these stairwells.
Nobody's got enough tetanus.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on? Like, that's how much it took me out of the movie. Like I'm watching Dennis Hopper smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, where are they getting the tobacco for these cigarettes? Like,
how'd they keep that dry?
What are they doing? That's all.
Yeah, dude, it was. But like, I mean, literally, the first 18 minutes, I was like, the production design. Dude, his boat has a freaking wind sock that when it spins around plays a harmonica.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a
cool.
generator that it's vertical. It spins around and like this. I was like, this
Charges up
boat's
that battery.
badass. This is like there's
whatever those
whole movies that are.
Those tri-boats are called with the nets between them. That's fucking
It's a
cool.
catamaran.
I really
it's got
like
2 floats, and his was a trimaran because it had 3 of the floats.
Trimaran, yeah. And the fact that there's the netting, that's freaking sweet.
Yeah, he went to the atoll, and they were like, "Hey, you're not from here. Could you knock her up so our gene pool doesn't get all crazy?" And I was like, "This
At least
shit
they
is
knew
smart.
that.
This is good, dude."
They knew
and
that.
like they're using for currency, they're using cups of dirt, and they're weighing it all out, and they sell hydro units, which is just freaking water that I guess was distilled from all their pee.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of pee water.
And then it was the first action set piece, and it went totally off the rails because it looks like they filmed a Universal Studios stunt show, and it went for like 15 minutes. And I figured out what I don't like about that first action set piece is that Kevin Costner's not in it. He's in a cage the whole time. It's like the only person in the movie we know about is him, and we just watch a bunch of strangers fight. I don't even know who to cheer for because Kevin Costner's not fighting.
And I was mad that Father Ignatius, whatever his name is, freaking from
Gregor.
Sister Act, Gregor. I didn't like how he didn't help him at first. I was like, dude, this is the whole thing. Like, unlock it. Let's go. We could have skipped a big chunk of the movie had he just unlocked that. But I guess we can't do that in the beginning.
Yeah, so that was my first problem is like the first action set piece comes too soon, does not feature the hero of the movie or the anti-hero, whatever you want to call him, and is way too long. And I'm like, okay, but I guess if you, like they're in Hawaii, they build these massive sets. Steven Spielberg tells them not to. He's like, don't build sets in the open ocean. I promise you it's not going to work. I tried it on Jaws.
You can't get a straight shot.
And they're like, shut up, Spielberg. We got this. And then, of course, a hurricane comes through and destroys all the sets.
Right.
Had to rebuild them. So
they used all the steel in Hawaii and even had to bring in steel from California.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
No tariffs there because it's the same country, so that was smart. But yeah, dude, so they rebuild it. So like I'm like, they shoot this action set piece. It's got guys on jet skis going underneath the waves. Like there's a dude on a freaking water ski like Goofy being pulled by a prop plane who launches over the wall.
Yeah.
And when he did, I said, "Fuck me, he cleared it." Like
Who was flying the plane?
Jack Black.
Dude, I didn't know that was him the first time, but the second time when he was doing the Hoth run and he was going around him with the rope, I was like, that guy looks like Jack Black.
He was in some more of the movies, some more of the deleted scenes. You can find Jack Black deleted scenes from this movie where he had some.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the only reason I knew that.
Yeah.
But then that action sequence was so long, and I was like, this movie just started. I was super in, and now I'm bored because this thing's taking too long.
Already
I don't know why
right.
these people are fighting.
Yeah. Let me tell you, this is a Robert Redford level of problems. It's not a real problem.
Right.
Looking at the middle tooth on the bottom of Kevin Costner's mouth, it looks like it's running away from all the other teeth. And I don't know why that's all I can see, but it's all I can see. It's just the one tooth. Like, they're all straight on the top and they're pretty straight on the bottom, except one. It's just going crazy. And I don't know why. Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
The whole time. They showed a close up, and I was like, "A fucking tooth." That's all I could see.
I don't. There's no need to badmouth Kevin Costner when God already did that. Number one, and number two, I don't know how you could talk about his teeth because I just kept looking at his hair.
Oh yeah, he. That was one of the things. Because
it was like super. It was super thin, which is fine. Kevin Costner's got everything in the world that anyone needs. But normally when you come out of the water, you do the like Bo Derek, like you toss your hair back.
No,
but
you can't do that.
He was like, dude, my shit starts like Jerry Rice, like at the back of my head if I do that. So he was always, he'd always have his pushed forward, and I was like, it looked horrible and super thin.
It did, and he actually tried to get the CGI people to put hair on, but it was just gonna crazy overrun the budget. So
I remember the rumors being like, that's why it cost so much money. He was CGI and extra hair. Like that was what people said. Like in the 90s.
If they did, where'd they put it? Because it's not on his head.
That was money. Money was not well spent because it wasn't there.
No.
But I think that was one of those that was one of those '90s rumors, like Marilyn Manson had ribs removed. Like one of those that we just heard. It's like that's not actually
Marilyn
true.
Manson's the kid from what's the name of the? What would you do if I said?
Wonder Years.
Wonder Years. Yeah, he was supposed to be the best friend on Wonder Years, Paul.
Yeah, and like Richard Gere and the Gerbil. You just hear '90s rumors. You'd be like, I didn't. You'd be like 20 years later, you find, that's not true. I've been saying.
The
forever.
weird thing is, though, there's no internet. I've talked to people that I have literally. There's no way they were anywhere near Louisiana, and when I talked to them, they knew it too. How does that spread so quick?
Yeah. Well, dude, we were talking to my wife and I were showing our toddler, our 3-year-old, like the 1 potato, 2 potato thing with your fist.
Yeah.
And like she and I are doing it the exact same. It's like we grew up in totally different states,
so
hundreds
weird.
of miles apart. And it's like we learned the exact same shit.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, dude, it's wild.
How does that transfer?
But anyway, I had that opening as my first scene, just so we could kind of stay on track. I was like, this first 18 minutes is sets up an incredible movie, and I'm super interested in the world and the production design.
So I did the same thing. So I said, like, I like the attack, but I like that part before it, building up to it. I know it's not the same scene, but I kind of lumped them all together. But like the plane and the freaking shit crashing into it, explosions and tetanus, and I liked all that. And the stuff he was floating in, like the old recycled
like sludge.
dookie.
Dude, people are going to set their phones on fire when they hear me say this, but I thought the first 18 minutes reminded me of The Matrix because the production design and the world building was so good that I was like, dude, someone has been thinking about this for a long time.
Yeah,
and then
set up really
it
nice.
got completely derailed. And I was like, well, there goes that.
Yeah, no more Matrix. No, I totally, I get that. Yeah, that's...
All right,
that was my first scene. My second scene is right after, or actually right before the fight actually starts, because I had no idea that he was a mutant.
Yeah.
So when they held him down and the guy pulled his ears back, and I was like, oh man, he cut his ear really. What the heck, gills?
Yeah.
Like I that for me like changed the whole. It was already a kind of a cool sci-fi movie, but then that changed the whole tone of it to me. It makes me realize why he's always constantly wet and brooding and on his boat all the time by himself, because he's a friggin' mutant that can live underwater. Yeah. That's kind of cool. So I put that as my second scene because that was shocking to me. That was mouth open. I didn't know that was a thing.
My second scene, and I skipped a lot of scenes that I remember. But my second scene is when they're like sailing around. He's got Jeanine Tripplehorn. He's got the little girl, Enola is her name in the movie. I forget her real name. But he's taking them on. They're sailing looking for dry land. The girl's got a tattoo on her back that's apparently the map to dry land, everyone thinks.
Right.
And they're going towards like another atoll, and the people are all waving.
Oh,
and he yells out to him, and Jeanine Tripplehorn's like, what language is that? He's like, it's Portuguese. It's like, God, this guy was thinking about stuff.
Yeah. Why'd they mess it up?
and then they realize that like it's a trap. Dennis Hopper's there. He really wants the girl because he wants the map to dry land. His smokers are all living on the tanker Exxon Valdez, and they're trying to find dry land before they run out of cigarettes.
Hysterical that it's the Valdez.
Dude, hysterical that it's the Valdez.
And how right at that part, too, he had all of those guys in the jet skis like being held underwater.
The guys in the jet skis are underwater, like held down by cables, and then they're going to like slice the cable and shoot up into the air and start just... like spring the trap on Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
And Kevin Costner sees that it's a trap. He goes down to the inside of his boat. He looks at his like periscope, but it's instead of the periscope going up above the water, it goes below.
Yeah.
And he sees that there's like traps and nets and stuff.
And so it was upside down. Why would he make it? Couldn't you make it taller and like look through it that way?
I don't know. I don't know.
Bend his head over. That was
Space
weird.
at a premium. He had to double over at the waist and like walk in a circle. He had to shuffle around in a circle.
Yeah, it looked weird. It looked weird.
And he sees the trap, and so he like hoists the mainsail or whatever, and then
batten down the hatches.
battens down the hatches.
Jib that gurney. No, that's not a thing.
And then they run, and the way they get out, they try to spring a net around them, and the way they get around the net is exactly the same way they do in Speed, is by all standing on one side of the bus to get away from Dennis Hopper again. And I was like, I always remember that, standing on one side of the boat.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you got to run over and get on the other side of the boat.
Yeah.
And dude, and so like Jeanine Tripplehorn and the girl are like leaning on the net over on one side, and Kevin Costner's doing some gymnastics shit where he holds on with both arms and sticks his legs out real wide.
Sticks his feet out. Yeah, yeah. Are they called feet? I guess they're called feet.
If they're called feet, but they have flippers. He's got webbed toes.
He's sticking his flippers
And
out.
I always remember that. Everybody get over to one side of the bus. We're getting away from Dennis Hopper. I was like, didn't we just do this?
Yeah. And dude, and it barely missed. It got caught on for a second for the second time, but then it made it out. Dude, that was cool. I like that part.
Yeah, I like that one. So that was my second one. But I skipped the scene. I wanted to also do the one where, well, you do your third in case I don't want to take it. In case
you're not. It's the last part, the Valdez,
mine
like
too.
the showdown with the explosions.
Agreed. So I also thought about putting the scene where she's like going like dry land. He's like, "There's no dry land." He's like, "Dry land is a myth." She's like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Because I've sailed farther than most people. I have gills." He's like, "I know shit."
Yeah.
And so he takes Jeanine Tripplehorn down in the diving bell that's like homemade out of shower curtains, I guess, or whatever. And he takes her down. He swims down with her, and he shows her Denver underwater. And he like takes her all the way down. He's like picking up dirt, and he's like dropping it underwater.
Yeah,
like that's a super cool scene. I always remember that. I thought about putting that one.
I like that part. I was confused on how it was working. Like, it feels like even to cover Denver, even if it's like, hey, you got to go down 20 feet and you hit the top of the skyscraper, it feels like it would still be really far down there to swim. That's a lot of wire to pull her back up.
That's a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and so in the movie, it's the sea level's supposed to have risen like 25,000 feet, when really we know, because it's happening right now, that if the polar ice caps did all the way melt, it wouldn't raise nearly that much. We would all still die, and we probably will, but it won't be that deep.
Yeah, it's gonna raise, but not near that deep.
But
remember
I hope I get some gills, because we are going to die, though.
What's the where'd we go camping? Dale Hollow. Remember they said like, oh, there's a town down there that was in the valley when they dammed up the mountains and filled it up with water, like the man-made lake.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 90 feet deep. At Dale Hollow.
That's too far for me. I can't.
Way too far.
We can bring a shower curtain next time.
As Kevin Costner's swimming down, I can see him like actually trying to clear his ears, like holding his nose and blowing. I was like, that's cool. He's not doing that to like be a really good actor. He's doing it because he's actually swimming down, farther and farther down.
I wonder that the guy that was clearing his ears the whole time. I was like, that doesn't even look like Kevin Costner. I don't know if that's him.
He's got way too much hair.
It's too much hair. Dude, my third one is the showdown on the super tanker. And when it goes down, you actually realize it says the Exxon Valdez on the back, which is hysterical for all of you younger listeners. The Valdez has a oil spill.
Wait, hold on real quick. If you had webbed feet and gills and you were swimming all the time for all of your stuff, would you wear long, tight pants? No, because I wouldn't.
No, I'd be
wearing shorts. But this whole movie is in like, dude, Speedo. He's like Speedo in a vest.
Although it wasn't slowing him down having the pants.
No.
I think the reason he was wearing pants is because for most of this movie, he wasn't swimming, which made me super angry by the time I got to the end. Because I thought he was going to do more of the thing. Remember when he grabbed the two guys and pulled them under?
Yeah.
And just held them there and let them struggle until they drowned? Yeah. He needed to do more of that.
He should have done
I want some Aquaman shit. Like, freaking take him underwater.
Even at the atoll in the beginning, they caught him in a net, and he just struggled. And I was like, if I can breathe underwater and someone throws a net on me, I'm just swimming down with the net, and then I'm going to use my knife to cut myself free.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Freaking Nemo taught us that. It's like, I don't know. The whole time
there's a rock. Who cares? Don't die.
Dude, for reals, I like the end part because it was just him and the bad guys, but he was going around just.
The final action sequence is my third scene as well. It's badass.
Yeah.
I have some really complaints. Cool. There's some things that I would fix. But dude, so water. he's like doing his like Steven Seagal infiltration of the Exxon Valdez where he's like cutting people's throats and shit and breaking elbows. Yeah. And while that's happening, the little girl is talking to great value Willem Dafoe in an orange wig.
Just going to town, yes.
And dude, she's just telling him, she's like, he doesn't have any fear. He'll come through and kill you. He's killed tons of people. He doesn't even like you.
Yeah.
Like, she's doing the voiceover. And then you cut from there to Dennis Hopper doing his I Have a Dream speech to his toothless crew, telling him he knows the way to dry land and, promising them cigarettes and oil.
And he's like a turd that won't blush.
That final action sequence, I was like, all right, this one's actually badass.
And when he drops the flare down into the thing, and the old man that was like at the 12th gate of Neverending Story, he was just like, oh, thank goodness. And like it blew up and he was finally free. Dude, that part was awesome. I like that whole thing. I just wish it would have been more water. Like, even the way he escaped that wasn't water. It was the sky.
Like, I didn't care about that much. I liked up until like Dennis Hopper eventually takes the little girl and he gets on a plane and he's going to like go away, and Kevin Costner Ken Griffey Jr., my favorite mariner, shoots a freaking harpoon down from the upper level of the boat, and then he takes a big hook or an anchor and he's going to slide down.
Slides down.
Like freaking Tango and Cash or whatever.
Right.
And then he takes the anchor, attaches it to a chain, he throws it up and he catches the like wheels of the plane as it's taken off.
And it
rips the wheel
down.
off. The plane crashes. Like that part, I thought was like, my dude, Ken Griffey Jr. just went ham on this.
Plane, it was awesome. I liked, and then Dennis Hopper.
But I wanted it to be done then, and then from there they did more shit, and it ended with Dennis Hopper and two other guys all running their jet skis into each other, and they all exploded. And I was like, that was so stupid. And Kevin Costner rescues her by bungee jumping out of a freaking hot air balloon.
Yeah, which is just tied to one ankle.
I think it was just regular rope because he just tied it to his foot and then handed the other end of the rope to Jeanine Tripplehorn. I was like, tie this, and he dove.
And she was like, oh no, I have to tie this fast.
Yeah,
I'm not good at knots. He would have died.
If you want to bungee jump and have your like head touch the creek or whatever like you do, they calculate how much rope they need and how heavy you are.
Yeah.
You don't just jump out of a hot air balloon.
Freaking better.
It's going to work out.
Freaking bet it's going to end up like Hillary Banks' fiance. Remember that on Fresh Prince, where he's like, "Hillary Banks, will you marry?" And then it just stops, and everybody starts crying. Ah, man, I didn't. But again, it's just like Speed. You're like, okay, the bus blew up. Now we're finished. We caught the guy.
Nope,
no, we didn't catch him. We're going on a train.
Got more stuff.
We got a subway.
Now the subway's blowing up.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, and the fact that as it was sinking, it's at Exxon Valdez, that put it over the top for me because I don't remember a lot of that time because that was a while ago. But I do remember that being a thing. Was the Valdez close to that? I think that was like late 80s, wasn't it? Like
1989. Yeah. So that thing would have been 500 years old. So I knew it was the Exxon Valdez before then because Dennis Hopper at one point was like, let's say a prayer to Captain Joe. And he like pats a picture on the wall of Joseph Hazelwood.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's got to be the captain of the Exxon Valdez. And I looked it up. I was like, yep, captain of the Exxon Valdez.
Nice. I was wondering who that was.
Yeah. And dude, I didn't realize until I went to read about him that, like, why the Exxon Valdez crash? This is because he was driving it drunk. He was drunk driving a tanker truck. That's what everyone thought happened.
Nice.
And then, like, years later, he got convicted of, like, a misdemeanor because he had a bunch of witnesses be like, he wasn't drunk when he was driving, when the accident happened. I never knew he wasn't drunk. The whole time I was thinking, yeah, drunk guy fucking crashed a tanker.
Yeah, I thought that too. I could see, so now the whole time he's like, Uncle Joe, I wonder if 500 years later they knew that he wasn't drunk. Because they sure acted like they wanted to drive the Exxon Valdez drunk. Even though they were using freaking oars and rowing. That was... Dude. How long does it take for that to move? Like, come on.
I can't imagine that you can get anywhere rowing an old rusty Exxon Valdez tanker with handmade oars. Even if you have a bunch of people
in what are the things that grow barnacles?
Yeah, barnacles.
Like
she's not very hydrodynamic.
Yeah, it looked like it was on land. Anyway, yeah, Exxon Valdez.
The other thing that I wanted to put on there that I thought about was when they stopped to talk to the trader, and the guy's so clearly crazy.
Crazy? Yes.
Because I always remembered that scene. He's like. He's going to sell Jeanine Tripplehorn to the guy for 30 minutes for one piece of paper that the guy's been carrying around in a sealed container.
Yeah. I dude, that, so like, I get that they wanted to show that paper was rare and that he was able to do it and that he still cared. He ended up caring for her and not wanting to just sell her. But, dude, that whole scene was just like... Let's go, man. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It felt like stuff like that was added and it didn't need to. And I know why they put it in there. They wanted to make those points, but I feel like
I like that stuff. I like that world. Like, if I was going to cut stuff out of this movie, I wouldn't cut that because I like the world building. I like that there's like, here's what happens with other traders. Sometimes they've been at sea for a long time and they're kind of crazy and they want to buy some time with your woman for a piece of paper. Like, I liked that. I liked all the world building.
I get that. And I don't know, man. There's just parts in there that I was just like, it feels like it's dragging. Like the little girl drawing on the boat all the time. And then him like staring off while he was mad about it. And like,
well, that's what I thought was interesting. Those times never felt boring to me. The parts that felt boring to me were the really long action sequences. It's like, all right,
those were boring too. Yeah.
This all feels too long and I wonder why. And it's like, well, the first one's because Kevin Costner's the only person I know in this movie and he's not fighting. And the second one, actually, when he sneaks onto the ship, I was super into that until until they took it to 11. And I was like, I was good at 10. That was a great place to end.
Yeah, they took it way past 11. What about quotes? Did you have trouble finding quotes? Because I only have a couple.
I have one. Dryland is a myth.
See, I put the opposite. The little girl saying dryland is not a myth. I've seen it. And I like that part. And he's like a turd that won't flush. But I didn't have anything else that I could put in there. Like, it's not...
Dennis Hopper said a bunch of like quippy type stuff that I could have written down. I just didn't care enough to do it.
They were just so cheesy, though. And
that was part of what I didn't like is that we talked about it. It's like, was Dennis Hopper doing a bad job or was he doing a good job at doing a bad job? Because he was so corny, and I was like, I just don't...
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like, it's not a farcical movie. It's supposed to be like fantasy. Like, the villain should be... Like, dude, Fifth Element's one of my favorite. That villain with the freaking... Who wears the, like... clear acrylic thing and then has the weird clothes.
Gary Oldman. Yeah.
He's weird as shit, but is still like I believe him and he's scary and he seems like he fits with the movie. And Dennis Hopper was like, I don't know, dude. I thought he was doing summer theater. I was like, he's just freaking.
And he was covered in like orange
he's
tanner.
Going hard.
Yeah,
they were all, dude. Everybody was heavy self tanner because they were outside all the time, supposedly.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I put Dryland as a myth because I had a friend in college who would just randomly say, Dryland is a myth. He would just like with no context, he would just throw that out there. And so when I heard this quote in the movie, I was like, oh God, I remember that guy. Always just saying that.
Only because my daughter eats a lot of pasta. She's the only person I know that would say it's like a turd that won't flush. Because I have that problem here in this house. But the point is it was light on quotes for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Characters was another tough one for me.
Yeah, I mean, I just picked the top 3 build people because I didn't know I picked Crazy Tooth and fucking Dennis Hopper and the chick and Jeanine Tripplehorn. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the other people didn't even do anything for me. I wanted to put Father Ignatius, but I just couldn't get, like he wasn't in it enough. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
So you got Kevin Costner,
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper, and Jeanine Tripplehorn. That's the top three build. Those are by far the three biggest people in the movie. I was struggling because I didn't like Kevin Costner's performance. We talked about this before. Kevin Costner's got movies that we really love, but like he's like Dennis Miller. He's just being Dennis Miller all the time.
Yeah,
Kevin Costner, you don't ever think like, man, he really has got some range. It's like, no, it's just Kevin Costner on a horse. It's Kevin Costner's Robin Hood. It's Kevin Costner as a mutant swimming all the time. It's Kevin Costner. Or he plays golf. Doesn't matter. It's Kevin Costner.
Yeah, he's a pitcher.
And I don't. It's fine. I'm not complaining about that. I like a lot of his movies.
Right.
But this was one where I was like, God, he didn't even freaking try.
He did.
He's made no attempt.
But he was apparently really into it. Like the final. So I don't know. The original budget was like $30 million. So to get to 175 was crazy. And he personally invested $22 million of his own money to make this happen.
Yeah, he was super into it. I mean, Kevin Reynolds is the director from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. They had all kind of problems on that movie because Kevin Costner is a control freak. But like when you win a bunch of Oscars for Dancing with Wolves and you're Kevin Costner, you probably want movies to look the way you want movies to look.
Right, exactly.
And most people can't say shit to you. So same thing on this movie. Like he eventually either fires Kevin Reynolds as a director or Kevin Reynolds quits. Right. And Kevin Costner personally takes over editing, and he wants a bunch of reshoots, and he wants a bunch of CGIs, he wants a bunch of rewrites. They bring in a bunch of people to try to do different things, and it's all basically like what Joss Whedon said. It was just a bunch of people trying to execute whatever Kevin Costner told them with basically no oversight.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, between the amount of him actually screwing up this movie compared to what was originally on the page and was originally edited, and the fact that his performance was completely uninteresting to me.
Yeah.
Because the Mariner was supposed to be an anti-hero, and Kevin Costner's like, no, he's got to rescue the girl at the end. That's how I do it. I was like, all right, that probably was not a good idea.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not going to put Kevin Costner on there. Like, I know the movie doesn't happen without him, but I just didn't. There's nothing he did that I liked.
And I hear you. And the whole time, like, he's staying in a $4,500 a night villa, which is paid for by the budget, and all the crew is in AC-less, like, condos that don't have AC, and they're all sweating it down. There's no,
and he's also far from the set because the set's out in the middle of the ocean, and he's over at the like poolside, like hanging out with his. And
there's no toilets on that atoll that they built, so they had to like pause filming. Everybody get on a boat that has to pee, drive to another boat that has a bathroom, let them pee, drive them back to the atoll. Like all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, dude. And that's if they had to pee. If they had to make Tuesday, it was a much longer journey. So
Tuesday.
It's like when I'm potty training my toddler, it's like he's got to go to the bathroom. We're done here now. We'll see you guys.
Yeah, we're not going to be here anymore. Yeah, dude, I get that.
Do you know the only other person who wasn't staying at the atoll besides Kevin Costner?
No, who?
Kevin Costner's stunt double was professional surfer Laird Hamilton, and he was commuting from his own house on Hawaii
on a jet ski,
40 miles each way.
40 miles on a jet ski, because at one point he got lost and they couldn't find him.
Yeah, because he didn't tell anyone he was doing that because they would have been like, what? No, we need you here. You can't commute 40 miles on a jet ski. And one day he didn't show up because his jet ski ran out of fuel, and they're like, I don't know where the hell he is. And they eventually called his wife, and it's like, oh, yeah, he takes the jet ski. And they're like, he takes the what?
He takes the what for how long? I didn't know jet skis could go 40 miles.
I at one point got served some videos on YouTube of a guy using his jet ski to commute from Miami to Bermuda to like go shopping. I was like, I didn't know that you could do that. I mean, I know you can get to Bermuda by boat, but I didn't know you could just hop on your freaking Sea-Doo and go down
jet
there.
Ski, yeah.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Conrad Rolling and I did some, we got on a jet ski out by Manchac and rode around for a day. And we ran out of gas, and it turns out they have 2 tanks, but we didn't know that. So we had to have some hillbillies pull us in a flatboat, thinking that we ran out of gas all the way. So I know they can go far, but I didn't know that far.
I just remember always one time down at someone's camp, Gretchen Grizzoli was going to take a turn on the jet ski, and she was like coming right for the dock, and she was yelling, "Where's the brake?"
That's great. Yeah, no brakes.
And then I think I was like, "You're not allowed to drive the jet ski anymore because there's no brakes."
That's great. Hindsight.
I couldn't put Kevin Costner.
Yeah, after you say that, I probably shouldn't have put him either, but
No, dude, you could do
When I give a movie a 4 out of 5, I'm basically just like, yeah. What do you say?
And Dennis Hopper, I was struggling with because, again, I don't know if he was doing a bad job or doing a good job.
I liked how he hammed it up.
I'm going to assume that he was told to do that, and he did a great job of doing a really hammy, really corny villain, and I'm going to put him in there.
And they asked Gary Oldman to do it, and he turned it down. So you almost had Fifth Element villain, but you got Dennis Hopper.
And I love Dennis Hopper, and so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and put him in there. I got Jeanine Tripplehorn, so she was really good. We saw her in what did we see her in? The Firm? Tom Cruise last year before.
I like her. The Firm?
I think so. Wasn't she in The Firm?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it looked like it when her pants dropped to the ground. But the thing, The Firm. Her. Yeah, she was in The Firm.
She's one of those people that I forgot about until we started doing this podcast. I was like, oh, Jeanine Tripplehorn. I remember her. She was in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I remember her in Very Bad Things. That was the one
Very
that
Bad
I used
Things.
to like her in. Yeah.
But also, like, she's in Sliding Doors. I used to really love that movie.
Yeah, that was a cool movie. What year was that?
Mickey Blue Eyes. That's 98.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, Mickey Blue Eyes. She's the love interest.
And then my third one, I had the kid, Tina Majorino.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to be a good kid actor, and I thought she was really good.
Yeah. She was in some stuff after that, too, I think. But
she took a long time off, and then she came back, and she was in Napoleon Dynamite, which I had totally forgotten. Just dead.
Yeah. No, I remember, yeah.
And then she was in Veronica Mars and Grey's Anatomy and a bunch of stuff like that.
Good for her. You think that was a wig she was wearing when her hair was short? It seemed like a wig.
It definitely looked like a wig.
Yeah. I don't like when I can tell it's a wig.
Yeah. That's why they weren't allowed to go swimming, because it was definitely a wig. And Kevin Costner needed a wig and didn't wear one.
There's girls I teach that wear wigs constantly because some days they'll just show up with completely different hair and they're like, Mr. Horn, it's a wig. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I have no idea. And this chick is in a movie that costs $175 million. And the first thing I say is like, that's a wig. Like,
yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't think any of the $175 million went to her wig. I think it was all for
no, and it didn't go to braces either there, Kevin.
It was all Ken Griffey Jr.'s pants.
Yeah, speaking of Kevin Reynolds, he did Prince of Thieves.
Yep.
He did this one. Mm-hmm. He did Count of Monte Cristo, which I really like because I really like, what the hell's that guy's name? Not
Alexander Dumas?
No. He's in the time travel. Guy Pearce.
Oh, yeah, Guy Pearce.
I like him. And it's also got Camelot in it. What's his name? Richard Harris. He's in that.
Richard Harris. Jim
I
Caviezel.
I don't really like him. But Count of Monte Cristo, that's my jam. I hope we make it to 2002 because I want to do that one.
Dude.
So maybe we'll make it that far.
But
dude, other than that,
it's going to be really slim pickings. We'll do anything anyone wants us to do if we make it that far.
There's a lot of stuff that I just don't like. I haven't seen a lot of his things other than those.
Yeah, well, dude, he
wrote Red Dawn, but
I was going to say he wrote Red Dawn, which we talked about when we did Robin Hood.
Yeah,
like that's a pretty crazy way to start your career, and then he's like, nah, maybe I'll just direct. It's like, dude, if you wrote Red Dawn, you should maybe keep that writing thing going.
Yeah, or maybe use some of those writing skills to help Waterworld out because there was no water in the last 40 pages of the script. So.
You're so upset that there was not enough water. That never
dude,
occurred to me.
What's the name of the movie again? Bungee World? No. Hot Air Balloon World? No. Blow Up Jet Ski World?
Everything they were in was floating on the water.
Yeah. I wanted more.
David Twohy was the screenwriter, along with one other guy who I think came up with the idea, and then Twohy worked on the story, and then like 15 other people also worked on the story. But David Twohy wrote
lots of punch-ups. Yeah.
He wrote stuff like Terminal Velocity, which we didn't do last year, but which I totally would have done.
He did The Fugitive, though. That's what I wrote.
He did The Fugitive, which is freaking awesome. He did G.I. Jane, which I really like.
Oh, nice.
Chronicles of Riddick. Like, he's done some pretty cool, like, kind of sci-fi-ish stuff.
Cool. I wrote him down because I remember him from Fugitive, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
What you got? Any other good? I got a couple other stories. Stuff, but it's all about like Kevin Costner getting divorced while he's there because he was hooking up with a hula dancer, and like how many people got injured and hurt, and logistically how crappy it was. So we could just skip it. It's a 4.5. So
yeah, the only things that I said was that we found out in the Ulysses edition, the director's cut, that dry land is actually supposed to be Mount Everest. They eventually find dry land at the end of the movie, and it's like very lush, like mountainous thing, and
yeah,
like, and that's where the girl is from, and it's supposed to be Mount Everest. I'm like, that's pretty awesome, and then it ends with Jeanine Tripplehorn giving the mariner the name Ulysses.
Nice.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. I would have liked to have seen. I might go do the director's cut. Not right now. I need a little break, but at some point.
I don't know where you even find the Ulysses cut. I'm gonna track it down, and then I'll share it with you if I find it. I don't know. I'm gonna try to track it down.
Yeah, dude. I'm seeing people online being like, you can find it in different places, but I don't know where you actually can. It's kind of like that. Probably the Star Wars despecialized editions. Like someone's made that on.
Yeah, those fan edits and stuff. I'll see if I can track it down. I'll see. What about worst?
I think we've talked about all the worst, man. Dennis Hopper's performance, how this movie couldn't decide like tonally if it was going to be like serious or if it was going to be action or if it was going to be corny.
Yeah.
They spent all this money doing these crazy, huge action set pieces that involved like hundreds of people on screen, and then I think they had to use them because they'd spent all this money on them, and a lot of them were like,
crazy.
I'm going to go take a leak. Let me know when the action's over. Like that's not what you want from action.
Right, exactly.
Like that should be the part that's like, well, I'm definitely not getting up now because something awesome is happening.
Something's about to happen. Yeah. The worst scene that I had was when he cut their hair.
Yeah.
When he like held them down and cut their hair. I didn't know what that was all about.
Well, he was supposed to be this like misanthropic anti-hero, and I think some of that stuff is like he slowly warms up to him, and that's supposed to be the his character arc through the movie. But yeah, it's like he starts off as like a huge dick, and then at the end he's like a medium dick. Like I mean, he did go in there and rescue her like Steven Seagal. But
Under Siege.
But yeah.
For worst effects, I had the CGI bird at the end. I wish I couldn't have told. They couldn't have found a freaking seagull.
I don't know. Maybe they said like, dude, you know how hard it is to train seagulls? It'd be so much easier if we just CGI this.
Yeah, we could just CGI your hair. You know how hard it is to grow hair. Yeah, that's the only worst I had. So I don't have any other worst.
Yeah, Kevin Costner said that he's very fond of the film. His quote was, "It stands up as a really exotic, cool movie. I mean, it was flawed for sure, but overall it's a very inventive, cool movie. It's pretty robust." And Dennis Hopper also was quoted as saying, "I thought Waterworld got a bad name for itself in the United States. It did really well in Europe and Asia. I think the studio sort of shot themselves in the foot by announcing it was so over budget, it's going to be a failure, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah,
all this came out before we released it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. And then Kevin Reynolds said, "My own personal take on the picture is that I don't think it's any better or any worse than most summer blockbusters. It's somewhere in the middle. I mean, I think it's certainly got its faults, but I think on another level it works quite well compared to some of the other big films. But by the end, they wanted it to be a disaster." So everyone involved is like, they were just coming for us, man.
Yeah.
This wokeness just ruining everything. Cancel culture is what this was.
It's just ruined it for everyone.
Or you just made a movie that's really pretty weird and like doesn't hold together the way it probably could have.
It could have, right.
But there are some parts of this that I think are incredible, and I kind of want him to remake this with someone who, like Kevin Costner cannot come anywhere near it, but I just think it's such a cool idea. I would love to see this done well.
Yeah. Apparently the Ulysses cut was dropped on Blu-ray, by the way.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
I should be able to find it.
All right, you post a link to that in our Discord if you locate it.
Yeah, I will. All right, you want to do the 5 questions?
Yeah, man, let's do 5 questions.
Is it okay for kids? I gave it a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's some like blood and stuff, and there's some adult content where it's like, hey, I'll give you this sheet of paper and I'm going to have sex with your woman on the bottom of your boat.
Yeah. I mean, they don't say it that explicitly, but it's
They don't
implied.
say it that explicitly, but yeah.
That's why I think, you got to be old enough to know.
Yeah, I'd want my kid to be at least pretty close to being a teenager before I have to explain what exactly is going on.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said 12.
Nice.
Would it get made? Do you think it gets made?
I don't. I think now the CGI is so much better that you could do this for way less money. I mean, probably maybe the same amount of money, but like you wouldn't. Where then it's like, this is the most expensive movie ever. Now you'd be like, yeah, Netflix is doing it. Like,
but here's the thing:
we're going to build a huge ass tank somewhere, and then we're going to CGI everything.
So when you say it could be done for the same amount of money, you think 175 million? Because 175 million back then is like 325 million. Like the budget of Infinity War is what they have. So like, is that the kind of money you're talking about? Like 325?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. No one's ever given me money to make a movie, but it seems like that you could just like, because with Avatar, they build big ass tanks for all the underwater stuff, and then everything else is CGI.
Yeah.
And Avatar looks freaking incredible. So I'm like, dude, they could definitely do that for this. This is Mad Max, but they swim sometimes.
Sometimes, like, being
this is not
the operative word there.
I mean, obviously, like Avatar, they have to do a ton of money to do that, but everything on the screen in Avatar is made from CGI. This is real people, except, and the boats are rusty. Like, it's not, I don't think it would be that. Seems like it would be easy to remake. It seems like someone should do it.
I think it should be a TV series.
Dude, I think that would be awesome too.
Like Snowpiercer or like Last of Us and movies like that. Like set in the dystopian. Like, I think that's the kind of TV show it could be. They could definitely do better, I think.
Yeah, dude. Or Kung Fu.
Kung Fu?
Wasn't Kung Fu one of those TV shows where David Carradine just every week like went to a different location?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever...
But Ken Griffey could be David Carradine, and every week he just keeps looking for dry land?
I'm glad you went with Ken Griffey instead of Kickin' Chicken, because that would have been... too on the nose.
No, dude, I'm not. I couldn't decide if it was Ken Griffey or Randy Johnson. I was like, ultimately, to me, I think Ken Griffey Jr. is my favorite Mariner.
I would have gone with the Japanese guy that I can't think of his name right now.
Exactly.
Oto? No.
And now you know I have not done that. Yeah, I think a TV show would be great for this. I don't know who would play. I didn't do a recasting. We only need 3 people though, and one of them's a kid, so we can't do that one.
I didn't really do it either. I got nothing. I'll leave that up to the producers.
I did find one more little tidbit I want to share. There's an episode of The Simpsons where Milhouse is playing a video game.
Yeah.
It's called Kevin Costner's Waterworld. And he puts in 40 quarters. The character takes 2 steps, and then the game is over. And it says, game over. Please deposit 40 quarters.
Yeah. Dude, I hated games like that. Hated it. You would play, and your guy would get injured, and you were like, all right, to continue, put in 2 more quarters. I was like, what the... 2 more tokens is $1. I'm not putting $1 in. All I got shot was 1 time. Yeah, I like how the satire for that.
And Universal is developing still a TV series for this. So if it does go to production, it will be a TV series. It was announced in July 2021, and I kind of hope they do it.
Yeah, maybe they will. What? So, do you tell people if it's 2025? Can you still watch and enjoy Waterworld?
Dude, I've been on this since 2007. I'm not saying it's great, but it's better than you probably think that it is. And there's some stuff in there that's pretty fun.
I agree. If you're in the right mindset and you realize it's a flawed movie, but a very fascinating world, and it's got very legit production, and it's super ambitious with what it tried to do, and you lean into the campiness, I think it's a pretty wild ride, and I think some people might enjoy it.
Well, think about Mad Max, because I think if we did Mad Max for the podcast, you'd probably go like, it was better than Waterworld, but it wasn't like twice as good. It was just a little bit better.
Right. No,
like
I remember
some
Mad
of the
Max.
some of the Mad Max 2 I thought was really good, and the one that just came out a couple years ago I thought was badass. Not Furiosa, but the one before that.
Right. Fury Road.
Yeah, but Fury Road. But the original one, I was like, it's just like a really inventive movie with great world building. It's
Yeah. I like world
got some good
building.
stuff
And I could see the appeal, and that's what I'm saying. In the right mindset, people would definitely like this.
Yeah.
And where can you find it? You can find it on Netflix until Netflix. April 30th, by the way.
You got to get moving. Immediately when you hear this episode, you got to go home tonight and watch it because it's going away, and we don't know where it's going. They don't tell us.
It's going back into the Disney vault, and then it's gone for 7 years.
Going to Kevin Costner's beach house. Kevin Costner went to the screening of this movie in Japan, and he flew there in his private plane, but because he's famous, he didn't ask him if he could do that, and they were like, we don't have room for your plane. And so he called the naval base, the U.S. naval base. He's like, hey, it's Kevin Costner. Can I land my plane there? And they're like, for real, who is this? And he's like, no, for real, it's Kevin Costner. I'm trying to screen my movie. And they said, and the Navy told him, you can land your plane here and we'll store it, but you have to screen the movie. After you do your Tokyo screening, you have to screen the movie here on the base for the soldiers.
Yeah.
And you have to make an appearance. And he's like, done.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I need some Kevin Costner money.
Yeah, dude.
I could get some stuff done. I'd be peeing in cups and stuff and drinking it.
Smithers, take us in.
braces.
Sir, you're flying the plane. Excellent.
Excellent.
This fog is so thick I could barely see my own cataracts.
All I always think of is like, what is this mountain goat doing way up here in this cloud? Oh, no. Gary Larson. Yeah, that's friggin'... That's
it.
Waterworld.
It's on Netflix for like 2 more weeks. We don't know what the next episode is because we've not picked it, so that one will be a surprise for those of you who are anxiously waiting.
Surprise for us also.
It'll be a surprise for everyone involved. At some point, we'll probably have to pick that.
Yeah,
but we have not yet. And
so what else?
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
Thanks for listening to Movie Life Crisis. Please subscribe, rate, and review, and remember, don't drive angry.